Hey, what's good people? This your boy Cincy, aka Mr. Good Vibes, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. First of all, I just want to say, as you go into this 2025, everything you do, I pray that the Lord Almighty will definitely watch and protect and guide you in this trading journey in the mighty name of Jesus. Now, with that being said, as you guys already know, I typically start with my market updates, and from there I just pretty much dive into a little bit of other things like the cryptocurrency. So today I'm going to be talking about a quick market update using my three major indexes, which are the SPX 500, the US 30, and the NAS 100, to just kind of see what direction I think the US market is going to be going in the future. As you guys know, the year has already started, and we've been seeing a lot of interesting things in the market. So with that being said, I'm just going to dive into the charts real quick and start talking about some of the things that I'm seeing and where I think the direction of this market could be going. So now, like I said before, what you see on the screen here is the SPX 500 chart, and I like to definitely look at this chart because these are the top 500 companies in the US, and if this index is performing well, then this is a good indication that the US economy or the US market is most likely going to be going to the upside. And if you see the opposite, then you already know what is going to happen. So as you guys know, let me just quickly look at this chart. So you can see this huge red candle that we see here was that FOMC candle, which we received sometime in December last year, when the Fed mentioned they were going to be reducing the rate cut from 4 or 5 in 2025 to just 2. So we had this huge drop, and we found a support, which is this yellow line. And over the Christmas break, we had this Santa rally, and what we call the Santa rally, because the Santa rally is always the first or the last 5 days of December and the first 2 days of January, right? So you can see we're still within that Santa rally period, which was so the Santa rally ended on Friday, sorry, which is good. So you can see we had that rally after that FOMC dip, and we found resistance at this my moving average, or this my channel moving average, right? Then the market retraced all the way back down to the support level, which was the same support of that FOMC candle that fell down. Now on Friday, as you can see, we saw a relief bounce off that same support, and now we found some kind of resistance again on this my tiny moving average, which is very, very key. I like to see the price close above that moving average very, very well before I can start getting a little bit of conviction if there's going to be a change in direction. Now, one of the things I've developed in my strategy lately is to do a top-down analysis, whereby I would take the weekly chart and also the daily chart and try to use all my indicators, technical indicators that I see on there, and see which one is bearish and see which one is bullish, and sum all of them together to get which of the bearish or bullish sentiment is being favored. And I will explain this to you in a little bit. So as you can see here, what you see on the chart here, like I said, it's the SPX 500, and this is exactly what I'm talking about with my analysis. So on my analysis chart, what you would see is that currently the SPX 500, as you can see, has 17 bearish signals and just 6 bullish signals. You might be wondering, how did I come up with this? Again, the green side would be the green side would be the bullish signals, and the red side would be the bearish signal. So for example, you can see I have also named the indicators. You can see them, ASGMA, SSL, Chimoku, SMI, MACD. Again, some of you guys might be familiar with some of these names. So you can see the D represents daily, and the W here represents weekly. So it's very simple. So in order for me to be able to count or how I got to the total of this number, I simply come to my daily chart of the SPX 500, which is the chart we currently have. And you can see currently we have a S sign and a green arrow. So the S sign here is my ASGMA indicator, and this red arrow is my SSL. So you can see the S here represents a sell, and the downward arrow here represents a buy. So like I said, during the Christmas break, we had this rally where we got the buy and and the green arrow, right? So again, sorry, this red arrow represents a sell and this represents a sell. So you can see we had this relief rally that happened, which I thought was a bull trap, because when you guys came back from the break, see what happened. The market just pretty much dropped, and then we have this back, the market bouncing back again. So I simply just come here to my Excel and I mark the SGMA and the SSL as 1 and 1. Why? Because I'm getting a sell sign and a red arrow indicating that the price is still going to be going down despite this bounce. Now the next thing I look at is my baseline. So my baseline is always this yellow line and this moving channel. So it's very, very simple. If it's going to be a sell, I need the baseline to be at least below this. I need the price to be below this baseline. And if it was going to be a buy or a bullish signal, then I would need the price to be above the baseline. So you can see currently this price is still below my baseline, which is why I have marked the baseline as 1, which goes to the negative side, right? Now the Ichimoku, on the other hand, it's very, very simple. I've marked it as 1 and 1 before, but let's take a look at it today. So the Ichimoku, on the other hand, you can see that the price is above the Ichimoku. So the Ichimoku is this green cloud. So the price is above the Ichimoku. So if the price is above the Ichimoku, then that is a buy. But if this price was below the Ichimoku, it will have been a sell. So you can see previously the price was actually inside the Ichimoku. So this is more of a neutral signal, which is why I gave the SPX 500 a 1 and a 1 before. But now the fact that we are seeing it above the Ichimoku, I'm going to go ahead and favor it to be a bullish signal and take away that one from the red side. Now the next one, like I said, I already explained the baseline. We are looking at the bearish signal for the baseline. Now look at the SMI. So you're wondering, where is the SMI? So the SMI are secondary indicators that are also below my chart. So we can start taking a look at them one after the other, so that way you guys are not confused. So the way the SMI works is very simple. I can click on it. So you can see the SMI is pretty much, you can see we have two moving, we have two signal lines, the red line and the green line. It's very simple. If the red line is above the green line, then that is a bearish signal, which is what we currently see. But if the green line is above the red line, then that will be more of a bullish signal. Another thing also I want you guys to pay attention to is this 0 line right here. So if the line starts to go below 0, then that is even getting into that bearish territory. But sometimes you can also have a bearish crossover like this, but in the positive side, which is going to be like you are getting more of a bearish signal in a bullish environment. I hope I'm making sense. So you can see that we have the red above the green, which is bearish, and you can see that the signal lines are beginning to go below my 0 line, which is also getting a bearish signal in a bearish environment. So this is very, 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 very concerning for me, which is why I came here and I marked the SMI as 1 and 1 for the daily. So because the SMI, I interpret two things on the SMI. Now for the DD is pretty simple. It's as compared to the SMI, it's more of a one line cross, which means we are comparing the signal line with the 0 line. So this is very simple. If the signal line is above the 0 line on the positive side, then that is definitely a bullish signal. But if the signal line is below the 0 line on the negative side, then that's definitely a bearish signal. So with that being said, you can see that the DD signal, I went ahead and scored the DD as 1 on the negative side. For the MACD, again, MACD, as I look at two interpretations, and it's very simple. This is the MACD. You can see with the MACD, we see a color change. And whenever we go from a red to a green, that will be more of a buy. When we go from a green to a red, that will be more of a sell. So you can see the current color is a red color for the MACD, and also that red signal line is also on the negative side. So we're getting a sell signal for the bars, and we're also getting a sell signal in that sell environment, or in that bearish environment. So because of that, I would go ahead and mark my MACD as 1 and 1 for the negative side. So it's going to get 1 and 1. So if, let's say for example, I was getting that signal line, let's say I was getting this signal line, I was getting this signal line on the positive side. So you can see we do have red colors on the positive side. So if this red was on the positive side, then I'll definitely give the MACD 1 for the bullish signal. Hope I'm communicating. So I'll have moved that one MACD to this side, but because I'm getting 2 negatives, so it gets 2 points on the negative side. Now the TSI is the next indicator, which you see down below this one. So this is the TSI. You can see the TSI, again, very simple. It's a 0 line indicator. It's actually on the negative side. If it was on the positive side, then it would be more of a bullish signal. But because it's on the negative side, it is currently a negative signal. So which is why I went ahead and marked my TSI as 1. My ASH is also the signal below that. You can see the ASH right here. We see a red line and a green line. So you can see the red is above the green, then that is a bearish or a sell signal. But if the green was above the red, then that would be more of a bullish signal in this case. So because we are saying this is a bearish signal, I simply go ahead and mark my ASH as a bearish signal and give 1 to the red side. So we do it for the daily, and we do the same thing for the weekly because we want to do a top-down analysis, right? So for the weekly, you can see the same thing. Currently, you can see my price, weekly price is below my moving averages. I do have my ASGME as sell and my SSL as a down arrow. So if you see on my weekly chart, I've marked those as 1 and 1 on the negative side, but the Ichimoku is still, I believe, above the cloud. So you can see the price is still above the Ichimoku. So that is still a positive thing. That's a bullish sign. So I've marked that as a bullish on the green side. The baseline, like I said, is the prices are below the baseline, so that's definitely negative. Now the SMI, you can see it's the same thing, but this one I've scored it 1 for bullish and 1 for bullish and 1 for bearish, and that's because on the SMI, if you see the ones that are below, again, like I said, I'm seeing a crossover, but on the positive side. Remember, this is the 0 line, and you can see that the crossover lines are above the 0 line, and you can see we have the green above the red, the red above the green, which is a bearish signal, right? But on the positive side, if this was on the negative side, then that would be a double whammy, which means we have 2 negatives. But because we have a positive and a negative, I decided to mark this one as 1 for the bullish side and 1 for the bearish side. The DD index is simply this one. You can see the DD index is a 0 line cross. You can see the signal line finally went below the 0 line into the negative side. So that is telling me more bearishness or more sell signal for the SPX 500, which is why I went ahead and marked this as 1. And for the MACD, I give it 1 and 1. And that is because the MACD, on the other hand, is showing me a red color, but on the positive side. So that is, the red is going to be 1 for the negative or sell signal, but the fact that it's on the positive side would also allow you to have 1 score for a bullish signal, which is why I scored the MACD 1 for bullish and 1 for bearish. The TSI is also the one below, like I explained before. But now look at the TSI on the weekly. The TSI on the weekly is actually on the positive side, and that is definitely why we scored it 1. And the ASH, you can see now the green is above the red on the weekly side as compared to the daily, right? So which is why when you come down to the Excel sheet, we've marked this on the positive side. So by the time I did the total of all these, I'm getting 16 sell signals or 16 bearish signals against 6. And this is exactly why I personally still do not trust this market. I think it's a little bit too early for us to be anticipating the bottom could have come in, as I want to see these numbers as close as possible, So you can see, I look at the other major indexes like the NAS 100, which is the top tech companies like your Amazon, Google, Meta, and you get the gist. And you can see that even for the NAS 100, I'm also getting 14 bearish signals and 8 bullish or buy signals again, which is a little bit still concerning. And the US 30 is still the same thing. We have 15 bearish or sell signals to 7 bullish or buy signals. So you can see my 3 major indexes are showing me full bearish signals, which is giving me an indication that the 2025, that this market might still drop further, or you might just have to be patient enough just to at least allow this analysis to somewhat catch up, or maybe I get like more of a closer number, for me to start going into the market and thinking maybe the bottom is in. So again, if you just take a look at some of these charts, so let's take a look at NAS1 or US30. Let's take a look at US30 real quick so you guys can see that I'm not just making up this. So you can see with the US30, this is the weekly chart. You can see with the weekly chart, you can see how the price is below the moving averages. This is the weekly chart, and the weekly price is below my moving average. That's definitely a bearish signal. You can see I have my sell and my red arrow going to the downward side. And you can, if you take a look at some of these indicators, you can see how this is a bearish signal. You can see how this is definitely bearish. In fact, this one US30 is actually concerning to me because we now have full-on bearish signal on the weekly side. In fact, let me make sure this is being updated. So you can see for the SMI MACD, I think those should look pretty okay. You can see how this one has also gotten a crossover today. You can see how that this is actually showing me a recent crossover. The red is above the green in that case. So for my US30, you can see that that's definitely going to go on the negative side. So now, with that being said, I also want to take a look at crypto to see what crypto is doing with respect to the US market. So if you can see, I've already kind of like aligned everything in different segments. So this is the crypto segment. You can see for BTC, the color is green. If you go back to the indexes, you will see red. So you can see the indexes are in red, which means the sell position or bearish position. And the BTC is actually on the green side, which is more of a buy position. And why? And that's because if you come down to my chart and take a look at the BTC or Bitcoin, right? Take a look at Bitcoin. You can see Bitcoin here is on the weekly. What you see is, we have, let me delete this line, it might be confusing to you guys. So you can see on the weekly, we have a B sign, which represents a buy, but we also have a red arrow, which represents a sell, so we have a mixed signal here. So, which is why if you come down to my Excel, for the weekly, I've marked the ASGMA as 1 for buy, and I've marked the SSL as 1 for sell signal. Very, very simple. And if you look at the Ichimoku, it's this cloud, so you can see the price is still above the Ichimoku, which is why we've given the Ichimoku a 1 for the green side. And for the baseline, the fact that the prices are also still above my baseline, so you can see this on my baseline, the price is above the baseline, so that's definitely a bullish signal, which is why we've marked the baseline of the weekly as 1 on the green side. And if you look at the SMI, in this case, for Bitcoin, the SMI on Bitcoin, on the other hand, it does have a bearish signal. You can see the red is above the green, but it's on the positive side, which is why I scored the SMI a 1 for the positive and a 1 for that negative side. Now the DD on the other hand is on the negative side, and if you take a look at the chart, you would see that the DD crossed below my 0 line last week. So you can see that is already showing some type of bearish signal, and the MACD is going from green to red, but it's still on the positive side, which is why I went ahead and marked my MACD as 1 for the bearish and 1 for the positive. And you can see the DD is on the negative side. The TSI on the other hand is the one that is below, and you can see that the TSI on the other hand is on the positive side, which is why I went ahead and marked this as 1, and the ASH also as 1 for being a positive or being a bearish, or being a buy signal, which is what you see right here for the weekly. So you can see the ASH, the green is above the red, so that is definitely a positive for Bitcoin. Now if you switch to daily, so you can see the W represents week and the D represents daily. It's very simple, and what you see on the daily is that you can see that the price is still showing me a B sign and a green arrow, which is why I've marked the ASGMA and the SSL as 1 and 1 on the green side. The Ichimoku, the prices are above the Ichimoku. As you can see, the baseline I've marked as 1 for the positive side, and that is because the price is above my baseline. But remember, the price has to be above these 3 baselines. So because it's not yet above everything, we are going to go ahead and mark this one has been on the negative side. Now the SMI, as you guys know, two interpretations, which is below the chart, and what you see here on the SMI is actually pretty good. You can see we have a crossover, the green above the red as compared to the indexes. So this is definitely a bullish signal, and you can also see that this signal line is now beginning to go above 0, which is why I need to switch the SMI. Now you can see the SMI did 1 and 1 before, but the fact that that is now beginning to go above 0, what we now see is a bullish signal for the two SMI signatures on the daily side. And the DD, again, very simple. The DD is this one, a one line cross. The signal is above the 0 line, so we're going to go ahead and score the DD as 1 on the positive side, on the green side. And the MACD, again, we take a look at the MACD, and the MACD on this case, okay, oh wow, look at that, MACD has finally gone above 0, so we've gone from a red to a green. So the green is definitely a bullish signal, and the fact that the green bar is now above 0 is also a positive sign. So we've started seeing more of a bullish signal in a bullish environment. So which is why if I come down to my MACD, I need to now take this one that was on the negative and put it, oh, sorry, that's the weekly chart, I apologize for that. So we have to take this one that is on the negative for the MACD and put it on the positive side for the MACD. We take a look at the TSI and see what the TSI is saying. The TSI is the one below, as you know, and this is the TSI right there. So you can see the TSI, the signal is above the 0, it's on the positive side. So what do? We just simply go ahead and mark the TSI as 1, and the ASH, in this case, let's take a look at what's going on. So you can see the ASH has actually switched. So we've gone from it was before a red above the green. Now you can see how the switch happened here. Now the green is above the red. That is a bullish or buy signal. So I simply come to my Excel and take the ASH from that negative side, which is on the 0 on the red side, and pretty much just put it on the positive side. Now if you can see that the sum of the Bitcoin is now 17 to 5, which means 17 buy signals with respect to 5 sell or bearish signals. So you can see the bulls are favoring the BTC. I did the same analysis for the Ethereum and also for BCH. So don't worry, I'm going to have a section for crypto whereby I'm going to be doing some crypto analysis on some other cryptos like Solana, Sui, and XRP. You already know Doge and all those famous meme coins, just to see exactly where they are with respect to my top-down analysis. Now, I hope this makes sense. And if you guys have any other instruments that you want me to take a look at on the chart, please do let me know. Drop it on the comment. I'll definitely do this analysis for you and give you these numbers and tell you what my opinion is. Again, you guys, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so that this channel can reach out to other people who are looking for contents like this in order to help them in their trading. All right, this is your boy Cincy, aka Mr. Good Vibes, and let's make some small money together, even if it's just a little, in this 2025.